guys can hear me okay, man. Bring the music down because this is how we fade laugh, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope y'all are doing good. It is a beautiful, beautiful afternoon here in the state of North Dakota. I'm on my way to Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Last weekend rather, the weekend we're just getting over with. Penn State had an awesome powwow out there, as I was talking about earlier. There's a lot of stuff going on out there that I want to talk about today. This is just an update show for all y'all that are wondering what's going on in your neck of the woods. We're going to start out with some news, of course, and this news brought to you by Native News Online. Denver's first Native American affordable housing project aims to make amends for U.S. policy. This article was originally published in the Colorado Sun. The Colorado Sun is a reader supported news outlet dedicated to covering the people, places, and policies in Colorado. Sign up for their newsletter and follow them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Mastodon. Carla respects nothing, left the Pine Ridge Reservation, South Dakota, right after high school, wondering what other life was beyond the rolling prairie. She had relatives in Denver, so she came to Colorado's largest city in 1989 and enrolled in community college. She didn't realize then how much it would matter, but this is what respects nothing left behind. Her ancestors, Lakota language, the traditions of the Ogallala Sioux, her sense of belonging. She has tried for 30 years to get it back, to somehow gather up a Native American community that's been scattered into pieces across the city. In her hardest times, when alcohol addiction led to losing her job and her housing, she ended up in a homeless shelter. Respects nothing, just, quote, gave up. But she's been sober 9 years now with the help from the White Bison, a sort of Native American version of Alcoholics Anonymous, where she learned to get back on the red road, the spiritual path to a good life, with a clear heart and mind. She said respects nothing, look for connection in talking circles organized by the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless. And while working as a peer navigator for the Denver Public Library, she invited Native Americans who were homeless to gather for the quote, wiping of the tears ceremonies for loved ones who had died. She shopped for groceries and let them cook the traditional foods of their tribes, buffalo and beef kidney soup, and washna, a crumble made with cornmeal and animal fat or beef and choke cherries. But none of it, respects nothing said, will compare to what's coming for the native people in Denver who never felt they belonged. For the first time, the city is building an apartment complex for American Indians who are homeless or on the verge of losing their housing, a community that, in one small way, will attempt to make up for past wrongs. Mercy Housing, a national affordable housing nonprofit headquartered in Denver, will build a 187 unit community centered on recognizing the historic displacement of American Indian tribes. After presenting the winning grant proposal to the Denver Housing Authority, the project will begin rising in summer 2024 at 901 Navajo Street, about 12 blocks southwest of the state capitol. Will target American Indians and Alaska Natives who qualify based on income. It will house the city's Indian Health Services Clinic, which has outgrown its space in the Sun Valley neighborhood. A circle, a powerful symbol in Native American culture, is the core of the building's design. Respects Nothing imagines programming that will include traditional food, tribal language classes, and ceremonies. Native people who understand cultural norms, including the art of respectful silence, will work as an on site substance abuse, mental health, and job training counselors. It will become a place where Native people can connect an extremely overdue attempt to help them heal from a past that cut them off from each other and attempted to erase their culture, Respects Nothing said. Quote, we were put on reservations to keep us quiet. There was an assimilation to make us white people, she said. They forced us to practice Christianity and Catholicism. When I came here, people were assimilated to the places where they lived, different areas of Denver and the Front Range. I had to learn the urban Indians as well. Do they even know what we do on reservations? Of course they don't. They lived here all their lives. They don't know what we went through. We struggle to even eat. This article and many more is available to you right now on Native News Online. That's right. You guys want to check them out, nativenewsonline.net. So many things to talk about this week. First of all, I want to say my brother from another mother, Patrick Little Wolf Brooks, one of those dancing out there at the Penn State powwow this last weekend, is on assignment right now, so he's not going to be joining us for tonight's podcast, but that's okay. We're still picking up, we're still picking up the pieces, right, bro? Anyway, he's doing a lot of good work out there on the East Coast as well. We're doing a lot of work out on the West Coast. We want to invite you guys tonight to come and join us. And don't be scared. Don't be scared. You know what I mean? You guys come in. You guys come hang out with us. You know what I'm saying? It again, the B&B Indigenous podcast is your place to come and enjoy yourself and learn about all the things that you want to learn about. What's going on, upcoming events. Do you have things that you want to talk about? I invite you to give me a call, 206 303 8814, and I swear we will get you on. If you have things that are really important in your Native community that you want to discuss, don't hesitate to call us. Also, if you want, you can send us a message. Want to see what's going on? Hey, Brenda, how you doing? I really appreciate that, and I'm excited too. Oh, and by the way, if you kids didn't know, the Kiayo Powwow Committee for their 54th annual was kind enough to donate one of the shirts to the B&B Indigenous podcast. This is a medium size, so this isn't going to fit the large fellas. You know what I'm saying? This is probably fit the ladies, most ladies out there, and probably some of the kids too. You know what I'm saying? It's a good shirt. Beautiful design like that. We've got that as well. I am giving away another one of my handcrafted teepees. I have not put the door on this yet because I like to let the people choose their design. This one's purple and black. I've got other ones to be given away in coming weeks. The poles will be stained. It will look really beautiful. And the person that likes and shares this podcast the most is going to have a chance to win that awesome lodge for your home. You'll be able to set it up on the mantle. You know what I'm saying? I always had this idea that, I'm going to make, instead of Christmas time, I'm going to do a whole bunch of lit up teepees. Of course, this lodge is going to come with RGB lights, which change the 256 color spectrum, and it has a remote control and everything like that, and it plugs into a USB outlet, so you guys will be able to have that for yourself. Anyway, Brenda and everybody else that's joined us tonight, we're really excited that you're here. We're going to be talking about current events out there. I want to say a big shout out right now to the people out there in the Little Earth community in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Twin Cities, really putting in that hard work, that wonderful effort, and things have come a long way. As a matter of fact, there's a land purchase agreement that I believe they're working on right now at what they call the former Rift Depot site out there in the East Phillips neighborhood in the Twin Cities, which is really great news. This just goes to show that if you guys put that affirmative action out there, that things can happen in your communities. If you do not want poisonous projects being developed that will further erode your human rights and your rights to live and breathe and eat good foods and drink clean water, this is something that we encourage you. Hey, and I appreciate you, Shar Joseph. And remember, like I said, if you guys want a chance to win this teepee and bring this home to your guys' self, remember those two back there, the one that's hiding behind the Timbits box. We got purple like them. We got pink. We got that beautiful blue lodge. I have all the colors that you might want. You know what I'm saying? If you have specialty designs in mind, or you want something that's personalized with your name or a certain type of design, I am a native artist myself. And I'm wearing my favorite shirt, and people always hacking me on the powwow circuit. Oh, were you wearing that at Muckleshoot Powwow? Like, yes, I was. And I'm going to continue to wear it because it's long lasting. That's right, like me. So, hey, I hope you guys are doing wonderful tonight, and I want to send out prayers to all of your family. Before we get fully into it, I want to talk about some stuff regarding the powwow circuit. Hey, Gathering of Nations, if you guys didn't know, get your outfits together and make your way on down to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Grab your drum, make sure it's nice and warm. The hides are tight, so it sounds real good. It's got that rumble that we all love as powwow people. Again, a special shout out to Kiayo. Hey, thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. And if I could see your shirt, I'm sure I probably would love it too. And we want to say thank you to Kiayo Powwow Committee and the University of Montana for putting on another wonderful celebration, 54 years for them. There were a lot of other powwows. The Rock Creek Powwow was going on. I believe there was a powwow going on. Where was that? In Illinois, or was it Missouri? I believe one of my nephews was out there jamming with the Upstream singer, so I think that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Anyway, we want to encourage you guys to share the B&B Indigenous podcast if you haven't already. And I want to tell you, powwow season is going to be amazing this summer. And I'm going to go through so you guys can hear it. This is the powwow trail. There are powwows going on in Thundering Hills, Saskatchewan from May 5th and through the 7th. May 10th, the SIMFC powwow going on in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. May 12th through the 14th, Stanford powwow, baby. You guys want to get down there to California. I tell you what, Stanford puts on an awesome powwow and in a really beautiful area too, by the way. May 13th and 14th, White Earth, Minnesota. If you guys didn't know about that powwow, right next to the Twin Cities there, it's another awesome celebration. Legends Powwow. You guys, Legends Casino. If you guys are into playing stick games, they've got that going on. A lot of awesome food. I know the Wallahy family's going to be out there. I know the Scabby family's going to be out there. Be a whole mess of good dancers. Usually 800 to 1,000 registered dancers at the Legends Powwow. They have it under a really awesome big top. If you guys didn't know, I would say, well, what do they call it? A topper. Isn't that right, Tanya Jo Hall? They didn't even have one, you know. But Loon Lake, Saskatchewan powwow, May 19th through the 21st, Loon Lake, Saskatchewan. Also, the same weekend, the 19th through the 21st of May, Manitowoc in Manitoba. Manitoba, hey, they're going to have a powwow out there. You guys get out there and check that out. If you are in the provinces or you guys want to travel across the medicine line, that imaginary borderline from the United States Plenary and Canadian Plenary authorities, that's right, get up there and celebrate. Manitowoc is an awesome powwow. I wish I had the money to travel because that's where I'd be bringing my family, especially my baby, you know what I mean? Walpole Island, Ontario, that's May 20th and 21st. If you guys didn't know, Walpole Island is a really beautiful area in Ontario. Here's another awesome powwow for you guys if you didn't know. May 26th and 27th, there's a powwow going on in Ignacio, Colorado. So if you guys are down there in the Buffaloes territory, right, you guys are next to Ute Mountain Reservation and Navajo Nation and all the pueblos down in New Mexico and Arizona, you guys can make your way over and check that powwow. It's going to be a damn good one too. Erminiskin, if you guys didn't know anything about Erminiskin, Alberta, that's May 26th through the 28th. Also, that same weekend, Four Bears, North Dakota. I'll tell you what, man, I placed over there. I didn't champ out. And that was Mr. Rooster Tops guy who I got to visit with momentarily at the Kiowa powwow this last weekend. Man, it was so good. I got to see my bro Jordan Yazzie too. You know what I'm saying? A whole mess of good chicken dancers. My bro Rodney First Strike out there jamming out. All his family, everybody that was out there. Tri Lake was singing dope. Black Lodge taking down the drum contest over there, which I thought was really awesome. You know what I mean? Four Bears, and then also that same weekend, the 26th through the 28th of May, that's Canoe Lake, Saskatchewan's hosting their powwow. Moving into June 9th and 10th, Kinder, Louisiana. That's right, you guys. Kinder is a really, really humid spot in Louisiana. Well, most of Louisiana is humid, especially in June. But Kinder's got that going on. The Coushatta tribe is hosting that powwow. So if you guys didn't know, get down there. The 9th through the 11th, same weekend, Lower Sioux, Minnesota is having their annual powwow. Want to get out there and check that out. Muckleshoot, Washington. Okay? Muckleshoot, Washington, June 16th through the 18th. Those guys got 3 powwows. They've got Skopops is, I think, the second powwow. First powwow is the Veterans Powwow. That's the one we're talking about on the 16th through the 18th of June. And their last powwow is their Clean and Sober powwow. I think that's in August. I think that's, is it July or August? Let me know, Grant, Time and Twa. You guys tell us. I know those guys are on committee over there, usually for all those celebrations, but an awesome powwow nonetheless. If you guys have powwows that you want to tell us about, don't hesitate to give us a call or send us an email at bnbindigeniouspodcast@gmail.com. You'll see that right at the bottom of the screen there. You guys write that down. Normally we use, as you can see in the top of the header there, we use the italic N, right? But of course they won't let you use special characters when you're making an email address. But you know what? We're going to do it anyway. And we also want you guys to go over there, like, share, and subscribe for the YouTube page. We want you to share as much as you can. Don't forget, we're giving away this awesome t-shirt that we want you to get a hold of. It's a medium size, like I said, and you guys choose the design you want for your door for this plum lodge that I have there in a good way. Also, we want to say a special shout out to our sponsor for tonight, Skoden.xyz. Okay, you guys, and hear me when I say this. And everybody, I want you to send me messages. If you guys can hear me okay, that's really good. I'm hoping. If I need to turn up the volume, I totally will. You know what I mean? Back to our powwow list for the whole entire summer. Vancouver, British Columbia, June 16th through the 18th. June 22nd through the 25th, there are 4 different celebrations, one in Parshall, North Dakota. That's P-Town to all the people that live in this state here. P-Town's actually Portland if you want to know Parshall. I just figure I'm kind of partial to that. I'm partial to Portland, not partial. Saddle Lake have a powwow up there on their reserve, Alberta. That's right. You guys want to get up to Canada, go check it out. Kakawistahau, that powwow I've actually been to is amazing. They actually give away rations. This is the old school thing about powwows a lot of people don't understand. You know what I mean? They will come around to your tent, even if you're not there, and just set a bag or a box of rations down for you, which is usually like sandwich stuff, peanut butter and jelly, and ham and turkey sandwiches, and chips and other stuff to drink like that. But they take care of their people all day, every day at the powwow while you're there. But Kakawistahau is an amazing powwow. They have amazingly beautiful arena. It's got a big chief headdress right out on the east side of the arbor like that. So you guys get up there and check that powwow out. Fort Washakie, Wyoming, also on the 23rd through the 25th of June. Moving to the 29th through July 2nd, you got Fort Duchesne, Utah. That's right. No, you guys stay away from Bottoms, though. I know some Uncle Sam's down there that will tell you all about their stories. No, it's an amazing powwow. Fort Duchesne's an awesome celebration. June 30th through July 2nd, Swan Lake, Manitoba, or Manitoba. How do you say it? You know what I mean? Is it Manitoba? Also, that same weekend, there are 2 other celebrations. One is George Gordon, Saskatchewan, and Siksika, Alberta, Canada. Both of those powwows are on reserve. You guys want to make sure and bring your rain gear. If I know anything about Canadian powwows, it's going to rain at least one night. You're going to get some awesome lightning storms, and you might catch a glimpse of the northern lights. And here's the thing. If you're traveling up to Canada, usually the sun don't go down until about 11:30 at night, and that's because you're getting into the further up into the northern hemisphere like that. You get up into Alaska near Barrow, it's like 22 and a half hours of straight sunlight most of the summer. And if you know anything about Alaska, you better bring some off or some DEET candles or something like that to keep the mosquitoes away, because I'll tell you what, man, they're gonna feast on you. July 1st and 2nd, 2 celebrations going on. One in Muskeg Lake, Saskatchewan, and the other one is the One Arrow Powwow in Saskatchewan. July 4th through the 6th, Red Pheasant. That's another damn good powwow. If you guys haven't been to Red Pheasant, I actually have. Danced over there, had a great time, met a lot of wonderful people. Matter of fact, I got some cool gifts from some of the folks up in that area. You know what I'm saying? They had me bring in the colors. And I tell people, bro, I'm part of the American Indian movement. This flag right here is an AIM flag. But they had me bringing in the stars and stripes of the United States. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to disrespect. I'll bring it in, especially for all those men and women who served in combat and in the armed forces, from our native tribes all across Turtle Island. And I got a couple of my bros like Dakota James raising hell with me. I got pictures of you holding that flag. I'm like, whatever, dude. Bad Eagle Singers, what's going on with you? Hope you guys are doing good tonight. Oh, and if you didn't know, Zagim, I'm hoping I'm saying it right. I believe it's Zagim, Saskatchewan. That's the 7th through the 9th. There is a ton of powwows going on that weekend, so you guys can pick your battle, or if you're dancing in traditional men's category like that, you can pick your duck and dive location. July 7th through the 9th, Zagim, Saskatchewan. White Shield, North Dakota, another awesome powwow. Enoch. Enoch is dope. I've been to that powwow too. Amazing arena. Wonderful people there. As a matter of fact, Captain Steve Wood of the Northern Cree Singers, baby, right there since 1982 and even beyond and before. He's one of our wonderful guests that we've had on here. His brother Earl usually helps MC that powwow. There's a lot of other wonderful voices. Who do we got? Walking Buffalo showed up there and was singing all weekend, and the Cree, Montana Cree. We had a young Southern drum up there in 2019, which was amazing. Those kids traveled around. I think I seen them at like 5 of the 6 powwows I attended with my family up that way. Also, Alexis Nakota, Sioux, Alberta. You guys got a powwow going on that way. We want to invite you out there to come check it out if you're in that area. Whitefish Bay, Ontario. If you guys like Whitefish Bay and Whitefish Juniors, that's right, Mr. Harvey Drever, one of the most beautiful eagle voices you've ever heard in your life. As a matter of fact, the eagle voice is actually a family name, so you gotta kind of be careful. You gotta be just careful. That's going to be an awesome powwow too. North Platte, New Brunswick is another awesome powwow. If you guys didn't get a chance to go out there, if you guys are in New Brunswick or you're anywhere close around those provinces, local towns and whatnot, make sure and stop up there and get yourself some ketchup chips and stop at the what is that? Boston Pizza over there is a really good national chain in Canada. Serves really good quality food and fare. It's a environment for the whole family. You know what I mean? They're kind of like, for me, they're like Tim Hortons. You know, you just get up there and you have to stop at least one time, right? Mandaree, July 13th through the 16th. This is one of how many powwows going on that weekend? That's right. Mandaree, North Dakota. Now, this is a big and beautiful arena. If you guys didn't know, you guys need to get up there and check it out. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's right. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to continue to tell you about these powwows. I want to let you know July 14th through the 16th, Ethatee, Wyoming, as well as Onion Lake, Saskatchewan. There's round dances up in those areas like that. I think Ethatee even had a round dance or two, if I'm not mistaken. But hey, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. We're talking about the 2023 Powwow Trail. That's right, July 18th through the 20th, Peguis, Manitoba. I hope I'm saying that right because it's spelled Peguis. I don't want to mess it up. It could be Peguis, but I think it's Peguis. I could be right. I could be wrong. But I am Little Shell. That's right, Turtle Mountain, Ojibwe. So, and then I'm also Rocky Boy Cree. So I'm trying to speak in my language like that. Topway, Topway Oma, right? Yeah, yeah. July 21st through the 23rd, there's a ton of powwows going on. If you guys didn't know, Kainai, Alberta, that's an amazing powwow. Pepeaksis, Saskatchewan, Thunderchild, Saskatchewan, Carry the Kettle, Saskatchewan, Sturgeon Lake, Saskatchewan. The following weekend, the 26th through the 30th, or is this a week? These are weekday and weekend powwows, so you guys know. So make sure you're checking your calendar because what we did when we traveled all the way. Sorry about the interruption, you guys. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy spot like that, but we should have at least a good enough reception where I'm at that we won't have to deal with that a lot. Anyway, you need to understand weekend and weekday powwows. So a lot of the reserves up there in Canada don't walk over each other's celebrations. Sometimes you just can't help it, but that gives you a lot of options when you're traveling. You know what I'm saying? So you've got powwow opportunities throughout the provinces, all the way from British Columbia all the way to Ontario, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, you name it, you can find a good powwow. I'm telling you what. So Carry the Kettle, Sturgeon Lake, Saskatchewan, Tsuut'ina, Alberta, and then of course Kawakatu, Saskatchewan. That's the 26th through the 30th. Tsuut'ina, Alberta, Kawakatu, Saskatchewan, Kahiwan, Alberta, and Norway House, Manitoba. That's the 26th through the 30th and the 28th through the 30th for those last three that I was just talking about. Moving into August, if you guys didn't know, there's some awesome powwows going on in August. Poundmaker, Saskatchewan, another awesome powwow. The 3rd through the 6th, Rocky Boy, Montana. Now that's where my family comes from. A lot of the Bellegarde family are up in that area right there. But Rocky Boy is awesome. It's one of those powwows that brings in about 800 to 1,000 dancers. They take care of everybody. Not that other powwows don't. I'm just saying I know how, if you're even a non-contest drum, they're going to take care of you. The committee does a really good job with that. And that's what we want. We want to encourage people to go out there with their families and celebrate. Hey, and if you're not in contest drum, you're probably only going to get one or two songs for that whole weekend. But that's cool because they do a whole round of intertribals most of the time Saturday afternoon, and then by Saturday evening sessions, 7 o'clock grand entry, it's all contests. And there's usually, I would say, 40 to 50 drums that show up at Rocky Boy Powwow. Knowing how it is out there, that's the Highline Highway 2 all the way into the center of Montana. It's about 3 hours east, 2.5, 3 hours east of Blackfeet, Pequinny Res out there in western Montana, northwestern Montana, that is. Also, don't forget that Blackfeets have awesome Blackfeet Brown and Indian Days is another amazing powwow. I believe that's in June. No, it is in June. It's the end of June, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Also, you got Elmo and Arlee powwows. That's usually 4th of July weekend going on over there. We want to say a big shout out and what's up to those committees. Those guys have 4-day powwows, about 3.5 days of total dance time and giveaways and name givings and memorial celebrations. But all of the people that I'm telling you about, all the powwow committees, they all work really hard to make a wonderful celebration. All have a lot of awesome areas to host a powwow, and there's plenty of camping for everybody like that. When you're out there at Elmo and Arlee, you're going to see Chief Cliff and, like I said, a Montana Cree, a lot of those good drums like that. Hey, like I said, man, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, I'm giving away this Key IO T-shirt, medium size, as well as the Plum Lodge. If you guys are interested, like, share, and subscribe. The people that are commenting the most tonight, we want you to make sure and get yourself in there. You know what I mean? And if you want a flame bulb like the one behind me right here for your teepee, you just let me know. I'll make sure and customize it for you and have it sent to your location. It's the only thing we're asking for is the contributions to the shipping. If you want to help me like that, if not, I'm going to send it to you anyway because that's just how I am like that. Oh, moving on along August 4th through the 6th, there's a ton of powwows going on around Turtle Island. You got Pheasant Rump, Saskatchewan, Frog Lake, Alberta, Twin Buttes, North Dakota, another awesome powwow, lots of jamming drums. Long Plain, Manitoba, Kamloops, British Columbia, Kamloopa. I know there was some back and forth on Facebook last year regarding like tribal IDs and stuff. Well, we'll save that for another discussion, you know what I mean? Beaver Lake, Alberta. I've been to Beaver Lake. As a matter of fact, I took third there. First powwow I ever contested in Canada, and I actually made the pay window. I was pretty happy with myself, you know what I mean? And I was just sitting there chilling and, talking with a whole bunch of different people, watching Pocahontas run around with a raffle ticket reel. She had the big old reel of raffle tickets that she sells, and all the MCs and all the powwow people know that she's got some good stuff. So you guys get up there, like I said, bring your rain gear because it's probably going to rain. Because right down the road from Lac La Biche, Alberta, so if you guys got a hotel room or a motel room you're staying at in there, it's good. You're supporting local businesses, and you're also supporting the tribes. They have a lot of wonderful vendors out there at Beaver Lake, and it's really an awesome kickoff to the end, well, the official end of the Canadian powwow season. Because it's the first weekend of August, and then that moves on through August 8th through the 10th, Little Pine, Saskatchewan, and Sunchild, Alberta, if you guys didn't know. August 9th and 10th, Pasqua, Saskatchewan. You guys don't want to miss that powwow. It's going to be a damn good celebration. August 11th through the 13th, there's a few powwows coming up in Waterhen Lake, Saskatchewan, Musquechiece, Alberta, Standing Buffalo, Saskatchewan. That's right, I'm going to say it again. Standing Buffalo, Saskatchewan. Little Shell, North Dakota, that's where my family originates from on my grandfather Benny Raymond's side. So I can tell you what, they have a really beautiful area to have a powwow like that too. Cowessess, Saskatchewan is August 15th through the 17th. August 18th through the 20th, Piapot, Saskatchewan, and one of my other reservations and families out there, Grand Ronde, Oregon, has their annual contest powwow out near Fort Yamhill, right down the road actually from Fort Yamhill. They got their longhouse there. They do canoe jams on Saturday night. There's plenty of camping for everybody. A lot of wonderful vendors. As a matter of fact, Native Tacos probably going to be set up over there, slanging some really good all natural fry bread. You know what I mean? I'm saying sacred ways like that, cooked to your liking. Perfect Indian taco if you didn't know. So get out there and check out Grand Ronde. That's going to be a good one. Two more powwows on the 18th through the 20th of August. You got Big River, Saskatchewan. Big River is actually a pretty damn good powwow drum if you didn't know, too. Hey, what do we got on there? Yes, you're absolutely right, Brenda. It is very much so. And also, Shakopee, Minnesota. That's another awesome powwow. And as a matter of fact, I've got two more to discuss. One for the September 1st through the 3rd. That's the Flying Dust Powwow in Saskatchewan. And the 15th through the 17th of September, Table Mountain. That's in California. If you guys didn't know, ooh, and we've even got powwow in October. Snow Mountain, Nevada's putting on their celebration October 6th through the 8th. And that's going to wrap it up for the 2023 powwow season. If you guys have powwow flyers that you want to post, don't hesitate to send us an email with that powwow flyer and all of the contact information. And we would love to post that on our Facebook page for the B&B Indigenous Podcast. I'm your host, Rockin' Ron B. I'm really glad that you guys are on tonight. You know what I'm saying? There's so much going on out there. And we want to talk about current events. If you guys got something you want to share with us, please don't hesitate. You know what I mean? We want this show to be as successful as ever. We want more than just a few people signing up, too. We want everybody to come on through. You know what I mean? And I can tell you, I've got a few days. I went and stopped at the truck stop, and I hadn't drank sodas in a really long time, but I've been finding ones that have just cane sugar in them because I'm trying to get away from high fructose corn syrup altogether. So I got my black cherry cream soda. Drank a root beer earlier, and Henry Weinhard's doesn't just make alcoholic beverages; they make non-alcoholic beverages too, which are, something I enjoy. And they say, oh, it's natural and artificial, but you know what? I want some good soda, and I've kind of been walking away from my soda fast. But yes, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there too. We want you guys to be aware of. If you have anything going on in your community that you want to discuss, please. That's right. Nansemond Powwow, August 25th. We'll have to make sure. So if anybody else out there knows, hey, please don't hesitate to share your powwow celebration with us right here. If you want to send us an email, that's bnbindigeniouspodcast@gmail.com. Again, there's the ticker tape for you guys on the bottom of the screen there. You guys copy that down and let us know. We hope that you guys will send us all your powwow information. If you've got current events that are going on, you got a feed, you got a name giving. Oh, I wanted to also mention for my relatives, Travis Branson and Devonica Dorothea Brown Eagle, they're preparing for a giveaway coming up at Inch Limb Powwow. That's Arrow, if I believe I'm going to say Arrow Lakes, where I actually champed out for the first time ever. Got a really nice jacket with artwork from my bro Dave Madera. He is an amazing native artist. If you guys want to support native artists, I would definitely take a look at Dave Madera's Facebook profile and find some of his artwork, because on there, he does powwow paintings. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of beautiful native artists that I love from the Spokane and from Colville Confederated Tribes and from Kootenai and all the tribes up in northern Idaho. You got Lower Kootenai. What is it? I always space off. It's Creston, British Columbia. As soon as you cross over from the U.S. side and the Canada side like that, you've got the Kootenai tribe of British Columbia, Lower Kootenays, and those guys put on a beautiful, beautiful event too. Their powwow, I believe, is in May, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm wrong, you guys let me know, okay? Lower Kootenays. Also, Bonners Ferry, Idaho, the Lower Kootenays are on that side too. And they got a beautiful little spot out there in the, what is that? Is it the Kootenai Mountains? I can't remember the name of the mountains specifically, but I actually lived up in Bonners Ferry for over a year and was always traveling up through that port of entry right there. And it's really easy going. If you guys are looking to get across the Medicine Line, you can definitely go through Creston. It's not as big of a hassle as some of the bigger ports of entry, like you would see in Vancouver, British Columbia, where Canadian Border Security is up there, run you through the ringer. A lot of people, when there's more people, it's just more officious. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm going to switch gears for a minute, and I want to talk to you about this, and I want you guys to tell me how you feel about this too, because I think it needs to be said, to be honest with you. And people might, they might bust me up a little bit about this, but I'm just at this point now. We all have dealt with addictions, addiction issues, domestic violence, where the addiction issues have caused some sort of a rift or some sort of damage to a family. Um, But these things, I have to say, they don't mix. That the alcohol and the drugs don't mix. And when you bring those things to a powwow, not only are you embarrassing yourself, but you're embarrassing your family and all of the people who've worked really hard to walk away from that type of poisonous lifestyle. That's the reason why I'm bringing it up tonight. I'm not going to go into lengthy details, about my personal feelings on it too much, but I think that it needs to be said that to me, you're going to make a choice as a human being to do what you want to do, whether that's you want to go out and party after you get done. But bringing that back, you also are carrying a spirit with you that doesn't coexist with the other spirits that are there at a powwow. Now, the drums, those drums are made out of animal hides. Those animals sacrifice their life. There are men and women that fought in the armed forces, that served in the armed forces. There are people that fought for our people and our inherent rights to exist on Turtle Island. We have to show that level of respect to those people and also the spirits that come there to be with us during those celebrations, those prayers, all of those things. And that's why I'm talking about it. You know what I mean? We want you to join the conversation. I want to hear from you what your feelings are on the matter. If you guys want to give me a call, we've got a live feed right now. We can send you a link so you can connect with us directly to bring you in. You can share your thoughts and feelings on it. We hope that that's what you do. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. The B&B Indigenous Podcast, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're only giving you an hour tonight because we've got a lot of other stuff coming up. In a few weeks after Gathering of Nations powwow is over with, we're going to bring our brother Reuben Littlehead Sr. That's right, one of the beautiful voices of Gathering of Nations and other powwows all across Turtle Island. He's going to be joining us in studio. He's going to share his life experiences, his love of basketball. He's got some swag and some t-shirts he's going to be giving away like that. So there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. We're going to be talking to some music artists. As a matter of fact, I was talking to my bro, Savell the Native, one of the youngest up-and-coming hip-hop artists out there on the scene in Indian country. This kid's got bars for days. And if you guys didn't know, go check him out at YouTube. He just released a song with Antoine X, if you're into hip-hop music, that is one of the most fire tracks I'd heard from native hip hop artists and R&B producers in a really long time. You know what I mean? Savell. If you want Savell to come to your community, don't hesitate. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is check out Savelle, the native, on Facebook.com, and he has information if you guys want to book shows for a hip hop concert in your neighborhood. A lot of young people in the native communities on reserve and reservations across the continent, they want to see these types of shows, and we want to give our kids something that they can look forward to. And I tell you what, usually when these kids show up, if they're coming like snotty nosed res kids, it's going to be a good show. And that's something, it's positive, healthy, native living. You know what I mean? We want to expand our kids' horizon. We want to give them music opportunities. We want to do all of those things. That's what we're doing. If you've got a heavy metal band coming out of Navajo Nation or Zuni, Pueblo, or, you know, Sky City or Acoma or Sandia, I've heard heavy metal artists from California down there in Yuba City and Pomo, Res, you know what I'm saying? What Californians call rancherias, right? You want to get out there and support that native music like that. I was talking to my little nephew. He's not little. He's a young man now. Tyus Beebe. If you guys are into country music, yeah, you guys want to check out Tyus. Tyusbebe. Bebe. This young man has been performing country music for quite some time. He's a wonderful guitar player. He's also another native musician that we would encourage you guys to come and invite to your events. I'm thinking about putting together a B&B Indigenous podcast music celebration somewhere on the West Coast, and we would love to have that music celebration travel across the continent. We had Brock Stonefish on our show a couple of different times. That man is a wonderful guitarist and musician in his own right. Performs with the likes of Gary Farmer and the Troublemakers. Who else out there is still doing their thing? I believe Indigenous is still doing it. You know what I mean? And again, I want to send a quick shout out, Skoden.xyz. If you guys didn't know, well, now you do. You know what I mean? Oh, and by the way, we got some really, really, really awesome events coming up that we want to remind you guys of. There is a few MMIW events in Western Washington and other places that we want to inform you about. The third annual March and Gathering for MMIWP and families. That's Saturday, May 6, 2023. All folks are welcome. Um, we want to see more turnout for Native First Nations people in the States and Canada at these MMIW events. This event in particular is going on starting at 10 o'clock in the morning at Westlake Park. That's when everybody's getting together. And there's going to be a march to the Seattle Center, which is right below the Space Needle. So it's going to be an awesome walk. It's a good time to get out, voice your concerns, and push for more recognition for these critical issues that we're dealing with in Native social justice environs, all the way over to 4 p.m. It's 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Everybody's going to be gathering at the Seattle Center for the talking and the speakers that are going to be available there. And red is the color of the day for that event, as most people know. MMIW supports that because red is not only the color of our beautiful people, but it's also the color that represents the missing and murdered Indigenous women, men, and children's movement. Wear your regalia, they said. Please bring your drums, rattles, songs, and prayers. There's going to be a light meal provided, so that's good. You know what I mean? If you guys want more information about this event in Western Washington, if you just happen to be in for the weekend or something like that, you can get email information at mmiwpfamilies.org. And if you have any questions or if you are an MMIWP family planning to attend the event, don't hesitate to send them an email. Again, that's info at mmiwpfamilies.org. So there's that. Also, May 5th, 4 to 8 p.m. at the Magic Lantern Theater, 25 West Main Avenue, number 125, that's Suite 125, Spokane. Yo-Yot Spokane is needing volunteers for their event. You can contact them at area code 509-768-7248. Again, that number 509-768-7248. Also, you can find them on info at yoyotsponi.org. That's yoyotsponi.org. Or you can find them at facebook.com/MMIP Spokane and also Instagram at MMIP Spokane. And remember, if you guys want to support the movement for missing and murdered Indigenous women, we encourage you to support them by purchasing t-shirts. You can get quality, and I mean high quality, beautiful MMIW shirts, $30. They're having a t-shirt sale. You can get them as they'll have limited quantity for the day of that event that I was just mentioning to you. Again, they're on the Yo-Yot Spokane. I hope I'm saying that right. No disrespect to my Spokane relatives. That's what it is. See, I said it right the first time. Spokane. That's what it is. See, I'm sitting here looking at the abbreviations and the hyphenations and whatnot. The MMIWP showings and open mic, Voices Unheard, Our Sisters in Spirit. That's May 5th, 2023 from 5 to 8 p.m. Doors are opening at 4:30 at the Magic Lantern Theater. Again, that's 25 West Main Avenue, number 125. Spokane, Washington, 99201. $10 at the door, and also concessions are available. Showings start at 5 o'clock, and open mic starts at 6:30. So if you guys have something that you would like to share, experiences about missing and murdered Indigenous women, things that have affected your family directly or indirectly, we would encourage you out there, all you Eastern Washington folks, to go and support and attend that beautiful event that they're planning. Again, May 5th, 2023 from 5 to 8. There are also prizes available for first through third places. So if you guys want information, again, that number 509-768-7248. Don't forget, okay? Another post, excuse me, I'm dealing with cross-country air quality issues. So if it sounds like I'm choking up, it's probably because I am, especially going through buildings. If you're unable to be physically present, according to Laura Anderson on the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women Washington page, you can email your loved ones' names for us to write on a butterfly for you. That's the Awareness and Healing event for MMIW, a time to honor loved ones in a way that raises awareness of MMIW. writing the names of loved ones on paper butterflies to honor them and raise awareness. The butterflies will be displayed in a meaningful way in the front window of Men as Peacemakers for May. After the butterflies will become part of an artistic display to honor the loved ones. That when is this going on? That's Friday, April 21st from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and they're having a prayer ceremony at 3 p.m. Jessica Gidegakun Smith is speaking after the opening prayer. Again, this is happening at Menace Peacemakers. That's 123 West Superior Street, Duluth, Minnesota, the Skywalk entrance. And if you're unable to attend, you can email your loved ones' names to friends.families.allies@gmail.com. Oh, we've got some comments. What are we looking at here? Boy, there's people that are racking them up, aren't you? Yeah. Good. Yes. Thanks, Sister Brenda McCarty Bass, for the invite. Hey, Kat, we really appreciate you being with us tonight like that. If you guys have information about events going on in your community, whether that's a powwow, a roundtable celebration, a kahami, you guys have a healing ceremony for men or women or families, we want you to share that. You know what I'm saying? Also, yes, that's right, Brenda. We really appreciate it. You know, the comments are coming in. We want to say hi to Shar, Brenda, and Kat for joining us tonight. We want more people to come and join us. And that's right. Kat Cartel says red dress and orange shirts too, right? 10,021 or 28 indigenous children have been found so far, murdered after being tortured by Yanagus Washichu. So I've got my wife. She's got some information that she wants to share about MMIW events coming up in the near future, or she just wants to call and say hi. My baby always wants to know how I'm doing. That's right. She wants to hear Dad's voice, so that's why she's on. And Brenda says, hey, I know the feeling this Paula's got me too. Yeah. I got a whole, like, a ream of toilet paper. You know, do you remember during the pandemic when it was really hard to find toilet paper? I was using handkerchiefs and t-shirts that needed to be rewashed. But I was doing the tough Indian thing. I was going around and getting on the napkin kick. I'd go to McDonald's and hit up like half a ream of napkins. I don't know if you guys have ever done that before. That's right. That's how you do it, kids. If you didn't know, well, now you do. We want you guys to sign up for the B&B Indigenous podcast at YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. We need the help. We're asking in a good and sacred manner like that. And don't forget, I'm going to show it once again for all you kids that didn't know. This beautiful shirt from the Kiowa Powwows 54th Annual at the University of Montana. There's so many different things that are going on right now out there across the land. One of which is a very serious situation. If you guys didn't know about the crisis of fentanyl, fentanyl is a medicine that is actually used in the medical industry for a litany of different things in small doses. But since it's become something that has been put onto the streets, it's become a really, really serious crisis, is the cause for a tremendous amount of overdoses. My own personal live on Facebook earlier, I was talking about something very near and dear to my heart, which has to do with overdose. Something that I witnessed firsthand with my father. Sometimes when people are selling drugs in the community, they cut it with other substances, one of which is fentanyl. And there is a fentanyl awareness gathering happening at the American Indian Community Center on the 5th. That's the 5th of May, 2023, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you guys want more event information, they say to join us as we raise awareness of fentanyl abuse and offer resources available to those in need. The location is the Spokane Fair and Expo Center. That's 404 North Havana Street, number 1, Spokane Valley, Washington, 99212. You guys want to join that event. I swear it is. It's definitely good. And, you know, don't shy away from bringing the kids to talk about these things and share that information with them, because a lot of the time our children are led into things that are just not healthy for them, and it could be catastrophic, especially if we aren't there to catch that, you know, as it's happening. Again, we want to say thank you guys for joining us on the B&B Indigenous podcast tonight. If you guys have guests in your community that you want to bring on with us, we hope that you guys do. We want you to get on, share that information as much as you can. That's right. You guys can send us an email, bnbindigenousPodcast at gmail.com. And don't forget, normally my brother from another mother, Patrick Little Wolf Brooks, when he's not on assignment, he's here with me. We're just rapping and talking about it, man. You guys want to join the conversation? You can give me a call right now, 206 303 8814, or I can send you a link. If you guys have guests or people, ideas that you want to share, you guys want to talk about crocheting, beadwork, quill work, you want to show off your latest, greatest, most beautiful pair of moccasins that you got ready. The homegirl Tani Kaluuya just finished some moccasins and they look really, really nice. My bro, Merlin Kickin Woman, he just finished a hot set for his son's new outfit, and I'll tell you what. See, a lot of people assume that it's mostly just women that are doing the beadwork, but it's not. I've seen some amazing dudes out there. My bro Deo, man, he's out in Seattle area, and he sings with Southern Express, right? Is it Southern Express? Am I messing it up, Junior? Let me know. He did this Kraken, Seattle Kraken medallion. Like at the powwow, I watched him put it together. It took him like 3 hours to finish it up, but it was so awesome, man. So, if you guys have beadwork tips or anything like you want to share like that, don't hesitate. I got my page, Patrick's got his page. We want to see more young native artists, entrepreneurial enterprisers, and crafters come through and develop their craft. We want to be able to share those things like that. Hey, I also want to talk about another awesome development, Powwow Television Network. That's something that I've been working on for quite a while. It's been my dream forever to provide 4K ultra high definition video content from powwows all across Turtle Island to people that just, might not be able to travel anymore or just can't afford to be able to get out there. But when we show up at a powwow, we're going to start recording the powwow and broadcasting it live. We're also working on a Roku channel right now, which is really cool. And it's going to take us a few steps, but we've got a web hosting service that we have to go through. But then you'll be able to check out Powwow Television Network on Roku. So if you guys got a smart TV, and we're planning a giveaway for Skoden.xyz. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to give away the details because they have not been set in stone yet. We want to remind you that it's going to be good for you. I want to talk about another situation that's been going on. This is also in reference to the MMIW situation here. Let me turn down this music real quick. January 21st, 2023, a woman came up missing by the name of Aiden Victoria Spear, and there is a reward for her being located. She is age 22. Her hair is brown, her eyes are brown. She's 5'6", and she came up missing, as I said, on the 21st of January. So if you guys have any information leading to the whereabouts of this young woman, it is much appreciated. There's also information that you guys can share. The state of Washington has taken great steps in creating an alert system that was added to the Amber Alert system just this last winter, or before, I believe, about a year ago now, nonetheless. There are only two states in the U.S. that actually have taken this effort, and that's the state of New Mexico and the state of Washington. They were initially going to call it the Red Alert system, but then that changed because they didn't want to give like exclusivity according to state legislators and the state Congress and the House of Representatives, as well as the governor's office. So they added it to the Amber Alert system. So now that tribal law enforcement communities like Yakama Nation, Squaxin Island, Suquamish, Duwamish, Quileute, Queets, Makah, Ho, Tulalip, Nispelem, Nisqually, those tribes in that area, all they have to do is type in the information, and then that's broadcast statewide as well. That goes on to the NCIC, National Crime Information Computer Database, to be shared nationally, just in case there's any movements that might be, like not really understood very well. There's a Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women's Summit Conference, or MMIWP Summit Conference on the East Coast. That's the 17th. That's already passed. The 21st, that was already passed. There's one on the 5th of May, the 2023, and the 19th of May. That's the Urban Indigenous Collective. That's 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Also, if you guys want more information about that, so the Urban Indigenous Collective presents MMIWG2ST Plus East Coast MMIP Summit 4-part conference series. So these last two, I should say the last one is going on here in the next couple of weeks. Actually, the last two, rather, I was right the first time. That's the 5th of May and the 19th of 2023. If you guys want more information, you can check out the Missing Murdered Indigenous Women Washington page for that. We also want to encourage you guys to share as much information as you can. Um, as I was talking about, the Little Earth Protectors out there in Minneapolis, St. Paul have been doing wonderful work to protect the East Phillips neighborhood against the Roof Depot development project, which would have brought a tremendous amount of diesel exhaust into that environment, which I can tell you right now is no bueno, right? No good. The Little Earth Projects and the East Phillips Neighborhood Association, they want to build a community garden that's going to afford food desert opportunities at growing, amounts of produce that otherwise would not be available to those people who are in low income situations in those communities. And I'm telling you right now, it's amazing what they're doing. They've actually made a lot of headway. But also, I want to remind you of the ongoing situation at the Winnemucca Indian Colony and the ongoing illegal evictions on behalf of the Bureau of Indian Affairs law enforcement community and somebody that has been posing as a tribal council chairperson, even though they have not proven their enrollment or how they supposedly were elected to serve as the chairperson of the Winnemucca Indian Colony. Subsequent evictions of elders, some as old as their mid to late 80s and early 90s, have been excluded from that area, which was a purchase from the railroad in the late 1800s under the direction of Chief Winnemucca and his daughter Sarah Winnemucca. If you guys know anything about that, there have been a lot of other political issues that have happened in the state of Nevada for mining projects. Also, Pihi Maha, which is doing everything in their power right now to protect against the lithium development. If you guys don't know anything about that, I would encourage you to get on and do a Google or a Start Page search or Bing or Yahoo search for the Lithium Americas proposal to develop a lithium mine there on the Oregon-Nevada border in the site of two genocides that were committed against Western Shoshone and Southern Paiute peoples. Actually, I would say Northern and Southern Paiutes because they kind of met right there in the middle of the Nevada basin. Winnemucca is a colony just an hour south of the McDermott Res on the border of Oregon and Nevada on Highway 95. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about that, or you would like to show support, the Winnemucca Indian Colony folks are looking for legal representation ongoing. There have been arrests. There have been illegal incarcerations of people that are doing everything in their power to protect their family, their loved ones, and their homes. There's been suspected arsons. There was a natural gas leak. There was constant bombardment from the Bureau of Indian Affairs Law Enforcement Agency under the former direction of Bob McNichols, who is now considered somebody that they call a code enforcement officer under the direction of their illegal assumption of a chairperson, Miss Judy Rojo, and her daughter, Misty Dawn. I would encourage you people to get involved and understand what these issues are because they sincerely impact and affect your rights. Also, coming up soon, before the eyes of the United States Congress, the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1977. There are people out there in community that are looking to adopt Native children that are non-Native. The Indian Child Welfare Act was signed into law in November of 1977 to protect against cultural appropriation and decimation of cultural identity regarding our Native First Nations children. What we consider to be an ongoing policy in detriment to Native identity after the boarding and residential schools, the last of which that closed in 1996 in British Columbia. This ongoing policy of kill the Indian, save the man is something that all of our people need to be aware of right now. It's important that you guys know what could affect you in your communities. Now, if it affects one community, if they're able to illegally evict people in Winnemucca, even though the Bureau of Indian Affairs says that they don't have any legal right or precedence to get involved with evictions or population control on the colony of the Winnemucca area and the Western Shoshone and Paiute peoples, this also could come to your reservation. So it's in your best interest to get involved. Don't take my word for it, take your own. And no, because this is what we call continuous encroachment. After their westward expansion, they continue to chip away little pieces here and there. Sometimes we win the battle, but this is considered losing the war. And if we don't curtail these types of abusive events that are happening from a government that has been embroiled in war and controversy for 248 years, nothing's going to change. That's why it's important for us to stand up for ourselves. If you guys have information that you want to share with the B&B Indigenous podcast, as I said, we're only going an hour tonight, but I'm going to count them up here. And you know what? I want to say thank you for all of the people that have been paying attention. We want you to like, share, and subscribe. If you guys are interested in winning more prizes, we got more giveaways for my teepees that are handcrafted. I also want to show you something that I did, and I think this is something I think you'll be interested in because I did this a while ago for my bro, and I'm actually going to send it over to the East Coast to him here really soon. And I got to move some stuff around here real quick. But I'm also into making handcrafted lodges. This is white oak from the state of New Jersey. If you guys are interested in having your own handcrafted longhouses, East Coast style, West Coast style, your man Rock and Ron does that. You know what I mean? Again, want to say thank you guys for tuning in tonight. The B&B Indigenous Podcast is always glad to have you along. Our winner tonight, we've actually got two. We've got a new person that joined us, and it's your choice, Brenda, because you were the person that liked and commented the most. So we want to say thank you for bringing Cat Cartel along with us. We're glad that you guys were able to join. Oh, man, I tell you what, I feel so congested. And this is the time for allergies, too. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys know anything about cottonwoods, especially in the summertime or any of the flowers in bloom, I'm not going to say what I normally say about allergies, especially related to plant allergies, because there's a certain thing that plants are doing in the springtime, like every other creature out there on the earth. But I'm not going to say. But you get the idea. Brenda McCarty Bass, thank you. Cat Cartel, thanks for joining us. You know what I mean? Brenda, you get to choose between you get to make your choice. Did you want the t-shirt or do you want the teepee? You know what I mean? Because we got to give the other one away to our new viewer, Cat Cartel. We really appreciate you joining us. Shar Joseph, thank you for coming on and joining us. All you people that join us for that, for tonight's podcast. Again, next week we have another awesome show lined up. We will give you more information as time goes by. A special shout out to my brother Patrick Little Wolf Brooks out there on assignment. He'll be joining us. He's recovering with a powwow hangover from Penn State. And Mr. John Sanchez putting on a wonderful event. Again, the Kiowa powwow, the Rock Creek powwow that happened out there. I believe it was in Missouri, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it East St. Louis, Illinois? I'm not really sure. Anyway, Interstate 74 or Interstate 64 or Interstate 70, they come together right there across the Ohio River. Yeah, I kind of figured you would. Now I want you to make sure and send me your information with your address and the type of design that you would like for your door, because I do dragonflies, I do lightning bolts, do other cool stuff like that. If you'd like mountains put on your TPU, just let me know. I kind of keep them base, especially when I'm giving them away. I make my own designs. I also wrap them with quarter fabric all the way around the bottom like that, and that match their matching colors. So you let me know what your door design is. If you like diamonds or you want a medicine wheel, you name it. And I also need your name and address. And Kat, please, since you're going to be taking this t-shirt, I need your information as well. You know what I'm saying? Again, we really appreciate you guys for joining us. It's been a wonderful hour to be able to share powwow updates and all the cool information out there. We know you guys really like it, but we want to make sure that you guys are getting more. And of course, I'm going to play a way playback from my bro that I got to see call a Heavy Runner when they were calling us something else. That's right. This song's really, really good. So if you didn't know, I'm going to play it now.
She's the one, she's so fine, one of a kind, and she's all mine. I hope someday you can meet her, this indigenous creature of mine. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh.